Hi everyone, I'm Ivan, the Chief Product Officer here at OfficeRnD, and today is a very special day. I'm welcoming our new CEO, Matt Keenan. Matt, welcome on board.
Thanks, Ivan.
It's a pleasure having you.
It's great to be here.
Matt has more than 30 years of experience in the SaaS business and more importantly in the PropTech area as well. Very experienced leader that we're all very excited to kind of have on board. So with that being said, we really want to, again, extend a very warm welcome. And I guess I want to hear your first impressions of being here in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Well, first, let me say thank you. I appreciate the introduction. 30 years in the software industry makes me feel really old. Traveling to Bulgaria, I have been just blown away by the hospitality, the welcoming, the openness of the team and of the city. This is my first time to Bulgaria and to Sofia specifically, and it's a place I can't wait to bring my wife back to and visit more frequently.
Yeah, well, you already tried the cheese, the very famous cheese.
It's outstanding.
0 to 10?
9.5 for sure.
Okay, so
it's good. I enjoyed the yogurt better, to be honest with you. I had yogurt for breakfast this morning, and the Bulgarian yogurt I know is famous in many countries of the world, and it was filling and it was tasty.
Okay, you're half Bulgarian. The next time when you have the great brandy called rakia, you're going to be fully Bulgarian.
I just got to work on growing a beard. Yeah. I noticed that the beard is kind of a thing for the Bulgarian man, so I just got to make sure I grow the beard.
Next time.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, okay, well, we already mentioned the kind of rich experience that you have in this sector. Can you share a little bit more about your journey and I guess what drew you to this leadership role to OfficeRnD?
Yeah, I have had career stops as a marketing and sales leader at companies like Salesforce.com, Oracle, and Microsoft. For the last decade, I have worked in smaller vertical SaaS companies that really focus on delivering value-add solutions to very targeted markets. Many of them have been backed by private equity companies who are deeply vested in the growth of the organization. OfficeRnD represented an amazing opportunity for me because of where it is today in its evolution. We have amazing products. We have a team that is incredibly passionate and committed to solving our customers' challenges and creating value for our customers. And being able to lend my voice and my experience to the company's evolution it's incredibly exciting for me.
Okay, so you've been like your last gig was at Lone Wolf, for example. Still, it's adjacent, I would say, to the office business residential. If you think about the lesson that you learned there, I know it was very dynamic and there was a lot of change and a lot of things have happened. Is there a lesson that you learned that you think is transferable or 3 or 5?
That's a really interesting question. One of the very common aspects of residential real estate where I came from at Lone Wolf and co-working flex space is the nature of the interplay between our customers and their customers, right? If you think about our customers, they're in the hospitality business, right? Beyond anything else, it's a personal relationship between the community manager and the member, right? Between the organization and the member. And that's very much like residential real estate. When you think about maybe the most important purchase a person will ever make, it's the purchase of their home. And you have to trust implicitly the person you are buying a home with. And so the nature of the relationship between our customer and their customer is something I want to instill in OfficeRnD. Right? We are people first. Right? We provide software, we provide value, we provide efficient, effective solutions, we provide innovation, but first we're people. And I think our goal and where I want to push us as a company is to connect as humans and then talk about value, talk about efficiency, talk about effectiveness, talk about how we can help our customers grow and expand.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, I would also add a little bit of thoughts there. I've always thought of OfficeRnD, at least initially at the beginning, as something where it helps with removing all the kind of administrative tasks, the tedious things that usually people running a co-working space do, to open up more space for that hospitality component. Honestly, for me personally, at the end of the day, it's real estate. Everyone has a building. If you have a good location, great. You might have the technology, but the team and the service and the hospitality that you offer can be a differentiator, even sometimes in competitive mode that people cannot really replicate too easily.
Agreed. And the community, I think, matters as well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when you think about, like I've been remote for more than 20 years. And my experience typically is in my home office. I'm lucky enough to have space. My wife has given me enough room to actually put a desk and a computer in space. But we need to create an experience that gets someone out of their house, right? And gets someone into a place where they can connect, where they can collaborate, where they can challenge themselves to do more than they might be able to do in their house. And when I think about our customers and the experiences that our customers deliver, that's really the inspirational piece for me, is how do we get someone off of their couch in their living room into this co-working space where they can connect and collaborate.
Let me take this now back to OfficeRnD as a company. Mm-hmm. Talking about people, you said people first as a company to customers, but looking at OfficeRnD, you're coming from the outside, which gives us a great kind of way to understand how do people see the OfficeRnD culture, products. What are your first impressions?
So I just had an opportunity to spend an hour with our go-to-market team, sales, marketing, customer success. And I was actually asked this very same question. What has absolutely blown me away is the commitment and passion our team has. Right? We have people that care deeply about our customers and about our customers' ability to be successful. And it's that passion, that commitment, that fire that inspires me. You know, there are many jobs where it's a job. There are few companies and rare companies where it's more than that. And I think we have something at OfficeRnD where it's more than that. We have people who care deeply about what we do and how we help.
I think that's a testament to the work that everyone has been doing, and this is what we were always trying to do. I think we're sometimes passionate to a fault, which means that emotions can run high from time to time.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it's mostly and always kind of done with the customer in mind.
Yeah, and listen, Ivan, I credit Miro, right? Our founder, our inspiration, our rock in some cases, for his vision, his drive, his passion, his commitment to take the company to where it is. I think he's made an amazing decision to step into role of executive chairman for us. He's going to be a key part of my leadership team. Mm-hmm. He's going to be a key part of how we set our vision and direction, because he's still not just passionate about the company, which he is, but he's also very passionate about the industry. And I know many of our customers have deep relationships with him. Please understand, he's not going away, right? He's evolving to a new role, but he's going to be part of my advisory team to make sure that we stay laser focused on what our customers expect of us, and rightly so.
I guess now that you're kind of entering the company, everyone has a 30-60-90. I guess you're not too different, but you're setting it on your own, I guess. So what do you expect to be able to focus on or learn in the first 90 days at OfficeRnD?
I think it is important as a partner to our customers to set a clear vision, direction, and strategy for the next 2 years. Right? We need to tell our customers where we're going and why, and how our investment of time and money into our products and services is going to deliver real, tangible value to them. And so one of my key priorities in the very near term is to work with you in leadership across the team, across the company, to be able to set that strategy, direction, and vision. And then I want to take a hard look at how we do what we do. You know, I believe that good is a journey, right? It's not a destination. And I want to push our teams to get good at what we do. Whether it's marketing, sales, customer service, support, R&D, it doesn't matter the function. We need to continue to challenge ourselves to drive improvement in what we do, because that improvement will then translate to the value we provide our customers.
And let's talk a little bit about the vision. You mentioned you want to kind of bring value to our customers. Where do you see your kind of biggest opportunities on this industry right now? Where do you see pain points potentially for our customers from your initial research? Yeah,
there are a couple of challenges that have really raised their heads pretty quickly in my time here. First is there's been a upswell in back to office mandates from many large corporations. And I think we're going to need to pay very, very close attention as that back to office mandate starts to permeate smaller organizations. I firmly believe that there is always going to be a need for flexible working space, right? Like, I am committed to this industry because I think it is an important part of managing the employee experience. Whether or not you're in the office or you're on the road, you need a place where you can be productive. But I do think it's important that we help our customers navigate and be successful through back to office mandates. One of the other things that I've noticed as I've started to look at data about our customers and data broadly about the industry is there is the early stages of consolidation where smaller operators that offer a specific value-added service or feel and experience or are in key markets, key demographics, they're getting looked at and acquired by larger organizations. And I think we need to help our customers navigate through this push to consolidation and be able to grow and expand on a thoughtful basis, on a data-driven basis, so that they get value from any investment they make from a consolidation perspective.
And thinking about a topic that is very hot in the whole world right now, AI, there has been some sort of conversation that AI is going to start displacing kind of employees across the world, and this can potentially trickle down to the flex industry because people that were freelancers or smaller teams that probably were distributed in hubs might actually get displaced. Do you see merit in this, or it's more like conspirative and people are just fear-mongering more or less?
Well, it is challenging to separate the reality from the noise in AI. Like, if you look at corporate reports, a large majority of companies as part of their annual reports are now talking about AI initiatives, right? You can't turn on the news without hearing a story about AI or about, billions of dollars being invested in AI. For me, and I think for us as a company, we need to look at AI in terms of two very, very distinct aspects. One is, how can we apply AI to do better at what we do for our customers? Whether it be augmenting how we write code and test code, how we engage with our customers from a customer support perspective, how we handle inbound sales requests to be able to deploy a digital workforce next to our human workforce. I think our customers need to embrace the same mindset that we're embracing. How can they deploy digital assets and digital resources to augment the experience that they deliver to their customers? Let's say I want to go to a workspace and want to do a tour. I'm okay going online to schedule that tour, but I'm going to want to learn a little bit about the space that I'm about to walk into. Who are the owners? Who are the community managers? What other members exist? And AI could be a great vehicle as like a sales agent to help respond to those inquiries, to free up administrative staff, whether they be in the space or in a corporate office, to do other value-added tasks. And so I do think there's real opportunity for us to deploy and apply AI both internally amongst how we do what we do and externally to how our customers leverage a digital workforce.
Okay, why don't you free even more time for your folks so they can actually give that hospitality, build that community, curate it, which thankfully AI still cannot do and probably won't be able to do in the next, I don't know.
I agree.
Years.
Regardless of what the movies show us.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. Maybe Tesla comes up with their robot and it's ChatGPT enabled. Who knows? Yeah, I'm just joking. Okay. As you observed and you probably have seen, we're very customer centric. Try to be as much as possible to be that. Coming in as a CEO, how do you plan to kind of keep that customer first culture alive? Without kind of stifling it because of our growth targets, whatever else, and how you think this scales in the future?
Yeah, well, I mean, as I mentioned before, like our customers, we are in the people business, right? And the conversations I'm having with our teams, the conversations I'm having with our leaders, it is critical that we establish a relationship that's human first and then business second. And I think if we embrace that ethos, if we embrace that identity, It's going to allow us to develop deeper relationships with our customers and move from being perceived as a software vendor to a true partner in their growth and success. Candidly, Ivan, the journey we are on is one that will have challenges. It's one that we're going to listen very closely to what our customers are telling us. We're going to listen very closely to what the market is telling us. And we're going to place significant bets on where we need to be in order to deliver more value. Are we going to be right 100% of the time? No, no company is. But if we're thoughtful about the bets we make, if we're driven by data, if we're driven by the voice of the customer, we're going to be right way more often than we're going to be wrong. And I think our customers are going to see that value and respect the fact that we're trying to help them and this industry evolve.
And if I can take back again to the internal side of OfficeRnD, yeah, you're right. We're going to be wrong sometimes and all that, but at the end of the day, we are going to have some ambitious growth goals internally, and you personally are very competitive. That's what I got from talking to you the first time. So from your perspective, how does this look like internally as a culture? How should customers expect to see this kind of motivation drive for growth in the products, maybe in their day-to-day experience with us? Do you think that they're going to feel it any different than before? Anything's going to change, you think?
Well, what I am encouraging our team to do is have direct, candid, honest conversations with our customers, regardless of the point of interaction, right? Whether it's a sales pitch, whether it's customer success, whether it's a support request, whether it's a presentation of our roadmap, it's important that we are open to our customers' feedback, because that's how we will evolve what we are doing. We can be confident, but humble. We can be thoughtful and challenging. We can be innovative and focused on value. And I don't think those are mutually exclusive in any way, shape, or form.
And talking about your personal kind of experience throughout your journey, what are some red lines, some things that you have said, I'm not going to let a company kind of do to their customers, or that we're never doing, and some other companies might be doing it. I'm just not going to allow that.
Yeah, no, it's a fair question. I mean, it is a deep question. We will, as an organization, we will never commit to something we are not going to deliver. Period, full stop. Those commitments we make are those commitments we will deliver. Software as a industry is one of trial and error, right? And it's about continual improvement. It's about continual investment, but it's with intent. And when we commit to delivering a capability or a feature or a module or a new product, it's done with thoughtfulness, it's data-driven, it's done with customer feedback, and the commitment we make is a commitment we will deliver against. And that's something that, for me, is part of my DNA. I will set an expectation, I will tell you the what, and I will tell you the when, and then we'll figure out the how. But I'm going to push the company as hard as I possibly can to exceed that expectation, to exceed that what and that when. Because that's how we earn trust. That's how we earn the right to continue to partner with our customers.
I'm happy to say that I'm absolutely on the same page. The worst thing you can do is disappoint people, which, by the way, I'm going to be honest with our customers and everybody that's watching. Sometimes we have to be transparent that something won't be able to happen, but at least we're going to be truthful to what is actually going to be the reality of it. Yeah, and we have to just move forward.
And I appreciate that very much. It would make this podcast very uncomfortable if we weren't in agreement. But that's why the relationship is so important, right? When you think about the relationships that are important in your life, they're built on trust, they're built on communication, they're built on collaboration. And that's the spirit, that's the ethos I want us to have as we work with our customers and prospects. And with our partners.
Great. Well, okay, we talked about business a lot. I think it's also going to be interesting to hear a little bit more about you outside of work. I was surprised you started off by saying that you kind of visited already like 45 countries. I think that's, first of all, incredible. I hope I can do it one day. So congrats on being able to achieve it with such a kind of dynamic career. So which of those countries do you think surprised you the most? And what did you take away from that experience or any experience that kind of probably you implement in leading teams today?
Yeah, so I have been privileged in my life to be able to travel. My wife and I very much like experiencing different cultures, different perspectives. And I know people will make fun of me for saying this, there are a couple of things that we do everywhere we visit. I have had a McDonald's vanilla ice cream cone in 14 countries, right? And for us, it's a test, because a simple thing like a vanilla ice cream cone is specific to the culture in which you are purchasing. So an ice cream cone in China is different than an ice cream cone in Japan, is different than an ice cream cone in India. Flavor, consistency, milk content, even the cone itself is very, very different, and it's reflective of the culture. Another thing that we do is we try to go and experience the society as the society exists. And I tell this story because it's one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me in my entire life. My wife and I were in Beijing, and it was Sunday. And in Beijing, in China, on Sunday, it's family time. And it's multi-generational family time, right? So it's parents and grandparents, and in some cases, great-grandparents and grandchildren. And my wife and I had taken the subway to a park, which is also an experience. And we were sitting in the park enjoying the beautiful day, enjoying the nature, enjoying the statues. And a grandmother started walking toward me, 70, 80 years old. She had her granddaughter with her. The granddaughter was crying her head off. Like, the granddaughter was upset. And the reason the granddaughter was upset was because the grandmother wanted a picture of her granddaughter with me, the 6'3" American in the middle of China, in the middle of Beijing. What made it interesting was the grandmother didn't speak any English, with the exception of, do you know the ABC song? A, B, C, D. The grandmother was singing the ABC song because that was the only English she knew. But through gestures, right, and signaling, I took a picture with the grandma, the screaming grandbaby, and the grandfather who was taking the picture. And I am sure that I'm framed on a wall somewhere in their house. And it was one of the most funny but bizarre experiences that I've ever had in my life. But I think you have to open yourself up to the cultures you visit. It's not just about seeing the tourist places, right? It's about experiencing daily life that you get value and depth from travel. And I hope to be able to travel as often as I can, to as many places as I can, because it makes me appreciate life at a much deeper level than perhaps if I just stayed in my own home, my own country.
Great, that's definitely going to help, because OfficeRnD, as you probably saw, is, for the size of the company, pretty multinational. We basically have colleagues in Australia, and the UK, the US, and Bulgaria as well. So you're going to get the chance to experience it.
No, I look forward to it. If you take the time to stop and look, there are amazing experiences to be had. And I truly would encourage anyone as they travel to break the mold, right? Don't necessarily go to that tourist destination. Go see what life is like, because it's rich, it's diverse, it's deep, it's inspiring.
I guess it's most of your jobs have been high stress, like CRO, honestly. This is
that the gray? Are you making fun of my gray hair?
No, it's fine. You're actually looking pretty good for someone that has been on the commercial side of the business.
Are you saying I'm old?
No, I think you're great.
We have a performance review, right? Don't we have a performance review coming up?
Well, another 2 months.
Nah, that's fine.
So how do you ground yourself? Like, how do you make sure you stay sane through this? And what are like daily habits or something that you do that kind of gets you there?
I find time to exercise. I think taking care of the body is incredibly important. I am a competitive person, so for me, exercise is sport, right? Whether I'm competing against others or I'm competing against myself, exercise is important. I think it helps me ground myself. I think the other thing that's super important for me is my family is critical to my success and critical to my life, and so I'm always talking to my wife. I'm seeking her input. I'm seeking her opinion. I'm lucky in the fact that my two boys live close to me and they're grown adults. So I seek their input because they bring a different perspective as 30-year-olds than I do from where I am. And I've been blessed now in January with twin baby granddaughters. And watching them grow and develop and experience life, it's inspirational because everything is new. Everything is fresh. And it really has brought me back to a place of simplicity because there is joy if you look for it, right? And it's a perfect example. The twin girls have started eating solid food, and watching them experience oatmeal and applesauce and avocado and new foods and seeing their face and their reaction, it's very, very rejuvenating. And so I make time for myself from an exercise perspective. I make time for my family because they are critical to my life. And I really take time to just pause and breathe because we can work so fast, right? Like we're always running. And if you take time to take a step back and pause and breathe and reflect, I think you can open yourself up to a lot of amazing experiences.
Okay, now I'm going to move to a little bit of an Inception style question, and just to make it more fun. So you're the CEO of OfficeRnD with all the experience and all of that, and instead of me, you have your young self starting his career back in the day. What advice would you give yourself?
I think two things leap right to mind, Ivan. I think first is be curious, right? It is fair to ask questions. I want to ask questions of the team. I want to ask questions of our customers. I want our customers to ask questions of us. And so I think it's incredibly important to be curious and stay curious because that's when you learn. I think the other thing is be humble. I know that as I step into this industry, even though it's adjacent to what I've done for a very long time, there are things for me to learn. And I know that I don't know everything. I learn fast. Right, I consume a lot of data, as you know, from our working together for the first 3 weeks. Yeah. But I know that there's a lot that I don't know. And by combining being humble with being curious, you have the opportunity to learn and grow and evolve and hopefully add value over time.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop with the Inception once and just move back to a potential future endeavor. Sure. Hopefully, if we do kind of great. So, imagine you can open a co-working space somewhere, anywhere out of those 45 countries where you have been. Which country? How does the co-working space look like and why?
Wow. So, I mean, yes, 45 countries. I've actually been on all 7 continents. Like I've done sledding on Antarctica, which was a really cool experience. I've been to 49 of the 50 states. I'm missing Alaska. I apologize if we've got Alaskan customers. I have yet to find a place that I would live outside of my hometown of Chicago. I know that Chicago has one of the largest Bulgarian populations in the world, but it also has many, many cultures and much diversity that's represented on a neighborhood basis. I would open a co-working space in Chicago because I'm technically minded and my life has been really around software and technology. I would look to develop a space that is technologically advanced and probably focused on tech incubation and tech startups. I think there's just amazing energy and such creativity in the tech space. So that's what I would do. I would do Chicago because I'm a homer. I would do technology, and I would seek to look to partner with young stage startup incubation type scenarios.
Okay, let me take you on a kind of thought that I had over here when you were mentioning the streaming services and how TV changed. So here's a thought. Previously consuming office space meant that you had to go through the landlord, sign a long lease. Now we're in the position where we have co-working spaces. Do you think that there is a future where work has become so flexible that you actually have just a home base somewhere and you have access to a network of co-working spaces, beautiful co-working space where you can choose, like, I want co-working spaces that are tech oriented, that are like into legal services, whatever, and you find like-minded people and you just go into a city, travel around, and you do that. Do you think there's a future like that?
I do. There is real power and real value in collaboration. And I think finding like spirits, finding like minds can accelerate. It becomes a force multiplier for growth in whatever your chosen profession is. Whether you're a creative working in a creative co-working space, whether you're a technologist working in a technology space, the ability to connect and collaborate and communicate with like minds, with like skills, with like experiences, with like goals, I think can foster more innovation and more progress than any individual sitting in their own house, right? Ideas are best when shared because you get response, you get reaction, you get validation, you get challenge, and you iterate and you evolve, and it's that collaboration, that connection that is so dynamic and so exciting.
Okay, great. Well, I guess any words that you want to give to the audience before we kind of wrap this up?
I am, and I can't state this strongly enough, incredibly excited for where OfficeRnD is today and where we're going in the future. The passion, the intelligence, the intellect, the commitment our people have for our products and for our customers and for this industry is inspirational to me. I had the opportunity to take a short sabbatical. I was off for about a year between my last job and this job. And the first 6 months were about recharging and re-energizing. The last 6 months have been about finding that right opportunity. And I am so glad that I've made this choice because we are at an inflection point, right? I think there are market challenges. I think there are market opportunities. I think our customers are thinking deeply about where they are going to go in order to deepen and enrich the experience they provide to their members. And I want to be part of that journey. So I'm super excited to be here.
Well, thank you very much. Again, thank you for all the honesty, for the authentic kind of talk. We didn't even follow the script that much because we kind of misreading the script. Let's put it that way. But I think it gave a lot of background information about you, where you're going. The whole team is super excited to have you on board. We're kind of looking forward to putting that motivation and competitiveness and customer centricity to work. And I guess to bring OfficeRnD to support all of our customer base and the whole flexible work industry moving forward.
Listen, I appreciate the opportunity to partner with you. I'll end with this statement. Our success as a company is not going to be because of me, right? It's not about Matt Keenan. Our success is how we as a team can execute against the hopes, dreams, goals, and challenges that our customers face. And I'm glad to be part of the team. I might be a face on the website, but really we are going to be successful as we execute as a team.
Thank you. Okay.
Pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.